knees of Oregon. Really a nice look. Now Oregon State with their own adversity throughout the year. More details on that. Let's go down on the sidelines to Brandon Baylor.
Yeah, Chris, when you talk about these two programs have more in common than you think. They're both looking for some consistency to carry throughout the rest of the season. For Oregon State, you guys mentioned it, achy, maybe giving them that reset button, a new life here, saying earlier this week, this group has played very uncomfortable throughout this season. He said this week the focus was all about making sure that we put that behind us and we're on to the next play. As for Jimmy Rogers, Washington State sitting at 500 does not sit well with Coach. He said we have 4 weeks to turn this into an 8-4 record. To do that, you have to play 4 quarters, something they have not done all season long. Chris, we'll see who gets the job done tonight.
Yeah, Jimmy Rogers, defensive mind, and they're clearly frustrated with the 4 losses the team has had against some good teams. Take a look at the series history. Meeting number 110, love it, longtime rivals. The Oregon State Beavers have had the better of it. They've won 8 of the last 10. Last meeting was a classic between these two as Oregon State won it. Game-winning field goal, 20 seconds left. Beavs and Cougs. Oregon State won the toss. They choose to defer, so it'll be Washington State to get the football first.
I love a good old rivalry game. Nothing better than that, Chris.
The holdovers in the Pac-12. First of 2 meetings this season. When Maxwell Woods back to return, blast through the end zone, and the Cougars with the first possession. And Zevi Eckhouse. Last week, a couple of touchdowns, but a couple of interceptions in the win against Toledo.
Yeah, he's experienced, Chris. Experienced guy at the helm. A 10,000-yard passer in college football. The transfer from Bryant won the starting job a few weeks ago and has played well. He needs to take care of the football, though, in order to pull this one out today.
It was incredible at Bryant in Rhode Island. As a Walter Payton finalist, player of the year 2 times. A fun style of quarterback who's just 6 feet tall, hands it off to Kirby Voorhees off the left side, no room. So a key matchup, we take a look at Joshua Meredith and Skylar Thomas on the other side for OSU.
Joshua Meredith has been at Washington State his entire career. He has not transferred, and he's the go-to guy, leads team in receptions and reception yards. On the other side, Skylar Thomas leads the team in tackles and pass defense. It's a wide receiver versus a DB matchup.
You always find you have to note, hey, this guy hasn't transferred. That's more unique these days. Eckhouse longs for a sideline. Right in stride for Kirby Voorhees. Stumbles to the sideline, but hauls it in for a big gain. And a first down for Washington State, pickup of 17.
As wide open as Kirby Voorhees was right there. This has been Oregon State's issue all year. Wide receivers running wide open down the field. Nobody in the same area code as Kirby Voorhees on that one.
Eckhouse came into this game 9 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, completing 65% of his passes. Took over the starting role about a month in. Hands it off to Voorhees, another player who's climbed up the depth chart as the season has moved on for Washington State. Cord Shaw on the tackle.
He has. Voorhees has definitely earned more carries this year, and they've been rushing for over 100 yards the last few weeks when they've really found their form playing against, you know, Ole Miss and Virginia, those tight losses, then the win last week against Toledo. They have gotten much better because the run game has gotten better.
You mentioned their last 2 road games were at Ole Miss and at Virginia. This just seems like a trip around the block going here to Corvallis. Flags down before a second down play. Our referee is John Love.
False start, offense, number 65, 5-yard penalty, second down.
The experienced center, Brock Dew.
Brock Dew captains the offense. He captains the offensive line. He's actually studying to be an engineer.
Second and 10. Mechanical engineering major. He's had 4 offensive line coaches in his 5 years. A member of Washington State through the changes. This one's deflected at the line of scrimmage and incomplete. Nico Taylor got a paw on it and says, not in my house.
See Nico Taylor come off the side, 25. You're taught as a pass rusher, if you cannot get to the quarterback, put your hands up, because batted balls, deflected passes are also wins.
They won the second
There's no
down.
foul. The ball was tipped behind the line of scrimmage. There is no foul for ineligible downfield. Third down.
So they won second down, setting up a 3rd and long. That's Oregon State, Rob Akey, their interim head coach. It's a team that's giving up over 33 points per game. Although their 3rd down numbers defensively are pretty solid. Opponents just converting 34% of the 3rd downs.
I always want to find where Joshua Meredith is on 3rd down.
On 3rd and 10, Eckhouse, this is what he does. Creates, fires deep, double team and intercepted. Jaheim Patterson underneath. Took it away from Carter Paps. And Oregon State in business.
There you go, the student section is rocking. Rob Akey's happy. This is the good and bad of Zebbie Eckhouse all in one play. We got chainsaws out here. Eckhouse is in the pocket, trying to buy time. The receiver is doubled. Connor Paps is clearly doubled. Eckhouse has no business throwing that ball down the field there. And that is what good defensive backs will do to you. They make you pay for those type of mistakes.
And rev up that chainsaw, you mentioned it, their takeaway chainsaw. They haven't gotten to use it as much as they would like throughout the year. But well done for the defense on the first drive.
When holiday
24/7. Download the CBS Sports app to watch today. So Oregon State, Rob Akey, interim head coach, kept it close to the vest this week. Who would be the starting quarterback? Malik Murphy, starter all year, or Jabari Johnson, who gave the team a boost in the last game against Lafayette in the second half. And it's Johnson who's getting the start tonight.
And it's Johnson's first start since high school, Chris,
Yes.
okay? So this is the big move. He has not started a game in his college career, but he is a dynamic runner. This is much more of a run-first offense with him at quarterback.
He was a senior at Lincoln High School, Tacoma, Washington, the last time he was a starter. So work here to the air on the out, deflected away from Trent Walker. It was Tucker Large who got in the way in its second down. So there's Malik Murphy, who, as you mentioned it right at the top, he was the highly touted transfer coming in off of a solid season at Duke. Just hasn't clicked, although Robbie said the leadership has always been there, just it hasn't worked yet offensively.
They invested big money to bring him in. He's thrown 9 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That's not enough consistency to maintain your job.
Johnson is a mobile threat. He hands it off to Cornell Hatcher Jr. Keeps on marching a yard shy of the first down.
He's going to set up a 3rd and short here, and I mentioned when Jabari Johnson's at quarterback, the run game opens up because he holds the backside, meaning the backside end or rusher has to wait and watch for the quarterback because he's equally as explosive when he keeps the ball.
It's really a theme for both of these teams, making a quarterback switch to help get the running game going.
And I definitely foresee a run on this play.
On 3rd and 1. Hankerson met at the line, spins off of it, and he falls forward. Parker McKenna was in the way, but it's enough for a first down for the Bees.
This is what Anthony Hankerson does. I hear pads popping from up here, but he's able to fall forward.
Just a physical beast. 5'8", 206. He had the 19th 1,000-yard season in Oregon State history a season ago, and he's on pace after his big game against Lafayette to go 1,000 back-to-back. Here is Johnson on the rollout, flings to Bryce Caulfield. His first game since late September against Houston. And Oregon State happy to have him back in the lineup. But it sets up our key matchup, of course, Hankerson.
Yeah, Hankerson's the straw that stirs the drink on offense. He needs to have at least 20 carries. Today he had 24 last week for 204 yards and 4 TDs. On the other side, Isaac Bobby Terrell, called Bobby for Bobby Boucher, the water boy. He leads the team with 9.5 tackles for loss, and he plays with a relentless motor.
You can do it.
High quality H2O.
2nd and 5. Hankerson will be busy. And he's right near the first down sticks. They'll give him enough for the first. He ran into Cale Reeder.
And that's going to be the identity of this offense now, Chris. It's going to be run, RPO. You're going to run the ball and establish it, and then you're going to pass off of it. And think about it, when you're 1-7, why not go to focus on your run game? Don't worry about throwing the ball downfield. Don't worry about interceptions. Try to control the clock and shorten the game by running it.
Yeah, many times have we heard from the Oregon State side, simplify, whether it's offense or defense. Make the game simple. On first, Hatcher dashes past the 45. Caleb Ransel, who is the team's second leading tackler, registers a stop there.
Beautiful job on the offensive line, getting movement. People getting pushed all over the place. Huge run gaps for the Oregon State offense on that one.
So that's a gain of 9. Wildcat look, Hankerson. And here comes Johnson in motion. Hankerson has the first down right at midfield. I like the setup here. Danny Langsdorff, who's the play caller for Oregon State. He's a senior analyst, technically not the offensive coordinator. Ryan Gunderson, still on the staff, has the OC title, but Danny Langsdorff is the play caller. They had a stat shakeup, of course, when Trent Bray let go mid-October after the 0-7 start.
It seemed like it's a fresh start for this team. The win and to the bye week, it seemed like this is a fresh Oregon State team going forward.
From midfield, Johnson again to the air, and that's all the money. On the comeback route, Taz Reddix. And a smooth beginning of the game, not just running, but through the air from Johnson.
Just Taz Reddix finding space in the zone there, sits down in front of Tucker Large. And I really like Jabari Johnson getting on the move. They're moving outside the pocket to set up this run game they're continue to do. But for being your first start since high school, he looks poised as Taz Reddix kind of limps off the field there.
And in comes Malachi Durant. He's at the top of the screen as the receiver. From the 38. Handoff goes to Card. And Card is driven back. So they try to get the receiver a touch, but the Washington State defense not fooled.
They got too cute on that one, and no one blocked Buda Paletti. No running play is supposed to be designed like that. He's kind of left free here. And listen, Jesse Bobbitt, the defensive coordinator at Washington State, this has been lights out defense for the last 4 weeks, giving up 13.5 points per game. So they're going to be a tough task just to run the ball all over them.
Cougars defense has upped it over the last month. Fake the throw to the near side flat. Instead, it's a screen far side. Hankerson met and finally brought down. Back at the 46. Bryson Lamb was the one to deliver the final blow.
Both plays have been sniffed out there. They had a great drive growing. And look, anytime there's a screen play, the offensive lineman doesn't block, but a smart defensive lineman knows, why are you letting me free? Something's got to be up, and they smell the screen there, but it sets up a third and super long here. And this is not a good situation for Jabari Johnson, who's not the strongest passer.
Yeah, this is what you want to avoid. 3rd down and 18. 4 receivers in the pattern. Crossing route, hands extended away from a body catch, David Wells. But Wells shy of first down yardage. Colby Humphrey all over it. A solid drive to move the ball for Oregon State, but the punt unit on.
They went backwards there the last 3 plays. This is nothing more than a wide receiver screen, right? They're trying to get Wells on the crossing route, but Colby Humphrey, the physical DB, chases that one down, doesn't get the play started. What looked like a great drive is now ending up in a punt.
And A.J. Windsor on, first-year starter. Tony Freeman, dangerous returner back. Will Haverland's a long snapper. Oregon State's had some long snapper issues throughout the year. He's the 3rd string long snapper. And that one's down. Wells running. And an excellent punt. A.J. Windsor. Neither team points on their opening drive. And Washington State the ball next.
I thought you worked in his house.
Oh, I'm wherever he needs to fuel up. Oh. Cantina chicken burrito.
Thanks, Todd.
That's the way to do it.
You know what? Let me actually get something to wash that down with, please.
I got you.
Easy. Appreciate it.
You've made a powerful enemy, Todd. I didn't mean
Influencing the Home Depot.
And it was an early win by the Oregon State defense. Look at Connor Papps, who's going to kind of run the over route, but there's 2 defenders on him. And Zevi Eckhouse has thrown his 5th interception in the last 2 weeks. Watch the receivers, Jaheim Patterson and the 2 DBs, Skylar Thomas. The safeties have them all doubled right here. Eckhouse still throws it, because this is what he does. He tries to extend plays and make things happen, but you can't force it. Especially if you feel like you're the better team and you have a lights-out defense, you got to protect the football, Chris.
I have to imagine you as a former DB, when you see a ball lofted in the air in a double team like that, your eyes light up. It's a chance for you to make a play.
I'm thinking about the Pro Bowl.
Getting paid, too. Up the middle run, Kirby Voorhees. And a big march, first down yardage past the 20. The redshirt sophomore from Tampa, Voorhees, who, with his strong play, has elevated himself to the lead back.
He has. Kirby Voorhees, I call him Jason Voorhees. It's Halloween out here. You can't kill the man. He doesn't go down easy. He keeps coming back no matter how many you tackle him, and he just plays hard.
I know you grew up near Voorhees, New Jersey, so I thought you were making that kind of connection. Gain of 13 from the 21. Why not Voorhees again? Crawls past the 25. So a couple connections. You're from near Voorhees, New Jersey. And his name is Voorhees and resides close to the Tampa area where you reside.
Yeah, me and Voorhees just locked in, step in step. He lives near me now. But you see the last 3 games, 2 touchdowns, 65 rush yards. The rushing game has gotten better over the last few weeks, and that is what's really helped Washington State kind of establish themselves as a pretty good team the last few weeks.
This is the start of their second drive. Interception on their first. Eckhouse, who's a runner, is ankle tackled down. Aiden Sullivan came on from the inside linebacker spot. His tackle numbers have been climbing over the past month.
Beautiful job by Aiden Sullivan there to set up a 3rd and 5 here. What does Oregon State do on 3rd and 5? You know Zevi Eckhouse can extend the play, right? But last time they made him pay. You got to get some pressure on Eckhouse to get him uncomfortable in the pocket to make a mistake.
Elijah Tuiaki, defensive play caller. What does he do on 3rd down? With Meredith in motion, Eckhouse looking that way. Instead goes to the deeper receiver, Tony Freeman. Scoops it up and makes the grab for a Washington State first down.
They get Eckhouse on the move there. Tony Freeman is an electric slot receiver, and they found a way to motion him and get him open on that 3rd down. You see he kind of wins at the line of scrimmage. He's going to break this out away from the DB's leverage, and that's tough when you get beat at the line of scrimmage, Chris. I've been there, unfortunately. You have no idea where he's going. You're just chasing and praying. You're chasing and praying, honestly.
How about that ball location, though? That was a perfect spot from Eckhouse.
Eckhouse is better when he's on the move.
Looks left, throws right. On a wheel route brought in. Trey Lechner, the tight end. All right, sir, sophomore.
The creativity of this offense right now, Danny Freund in this offense. You got a fake pitch, a fake screen, leak the tight end, Lechner out. Who's able to make the nice catch on the sideline there. There's the OC. I really like how he calls plays. I called the Apple Cup, and although they lost that game, they found ways schematically to move the ball down the field, and that was Eckhouse's first start.
Well, it's his first start after being behind Jackson Potter the first 3 games. Took over in game 4. Hasn't relinquished the job since. Hands it to Leia Pulawasi to the outside. Driven down by Skylar Thomas, who's the team's leading tackler for Oregon State coming in.
Skylar Thomas, they say he is the man. We went to go talk to him yesterday, Chris, and he was busy taking a midterm.
Yeah,
you know, I understand, brother. Don't talk to me. Don't worry about your midterm. But he's the guy that's really been the consistent pro on this defense. It's been pretty leaky throughout the year. but it's admirable to show up when your team is 1-7 to still show up and compete every single day.
I think it's rather spooky to have a midterm on Halloween anyway.
Yeah, that's no fun at all.
On second, Eckhouse fires too tall. Looking for Pulalasi out of the backfield. Another 3rd and 5 coming up for the Cougs.
Cord Shaw, number 14, comes through the middle of your screen and just hammers Eckhouse at the end of that one.
There's a penalty marker down. You saw Brock Dew, the center, sort of going down the field as the quarterback threw it. So an eligible man downfield, looking towards Rob Akey and Oregon State to see how they want this to be enforced.
Ineligible downfield offense, number 18, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Is that Meredith?
I don't think a wide receiver could be ineligible.
Right?
He's eligible to be down the field. I think it's probably an offensive lineman there. And that was a timing play, right? The ball needed to come out. Eckhouse held it, which got the timing off. But that's going to set up a 3rd and 10 now. And we saw the Eckhouse do a previous interception on 3rd down, but he completed the last one. It's all about getting him uncomfortable. Actually, it's going to be 2nd down here.
Yeah, it's 2nd down. They took the penalty, which saves it down. It's 2nd down and 10. And down goes Eckhouse. Shamar Mikal, who the offensive coordinator Tuiaki says is the team's best pass rusher, shows it off there.
Shamar Mikal just wins on the edge there against Ashton Tripp right away. And Ashton Tripp's their best tackle. They say he has NFL potential, and he got beat like a drum on that one, which now sets up a 3rd and extra long. Kind of knocked Washington State out of field goal range right now. So are they able to play something safe for the field goal, or they're going to try to go for the whole thing?
Just get it off. A rush of 4, setting up the screen. It's not there. And Eckhouse dropped again. Mikal and Shaw combined. And Corvallis loving it.
You see how much it means to these guys over there at Oregon State. They brought the blitz, straight off the edge, beats the other tackle. You're not supposed to get sacked on a screen, Chris. There's no way. Even in Madden, you can't take a sack on a screen. It's just not there. It's sniffed out. They try to call the screen to preserve the field goal. Great job of bringing pressure and winning on the edges these last 2 plays by the Oregon State defense.
And unlike Madden, there's no reset button. 4th and 26. Punt Ryan Harris. Fair catch. Trent Walker. Defenses have come to play. Racer Stadium here in Corvallis. The Pac-12 remaining squads, the holdovers, going at it.
At IHG Hotels
In America. Way to go, Georgie and Mandy. Get in on the funny with an all-new episode. CBS this Thursday. Day after Halloween. You have the colors orange and black for Oregon State. I have to imagine they're still in the spirit. See some costumes as this game moves on. Jabari Johnson making his first start since he was a senior at Lincoln High School. The guy who did not play in his lone season at Missouri, was the backup at Oregon State last season. Did see a lot of time, including the Air Force game that you called a year ago. And this is his first time beginning the game as a signal caller.
And he's got to start on track. You don't want to get off track. What that means is he needs 3 or 4 yards, 3 or more yards on the first play.
Late in the first quarter. Hatcher. And that's kind of on schedule. About 3 yards on first down. So it could be the final play of the first quarter.
I'd take it down to the half if I were them. Yeah, you want to get 4 yards of play. Chris, you do that enough. That's a first down by averages there. But you want to keep a quarterback who's inexperienced, not the best downfield thrower. You want to keep him on track, getting 4 or 5 yards per play. Quick passes, run game to get him comfortable early in the game.
Just getting him into that rhythm. He sparked the team to that win against Lafayette in the second half. Came on for an ineffective Malik Murphy and led that ground game rushing attack. Him and Hankerson were tough to stop. That's the end of the first. And the 1st of November. Oregon State, Washington State. The Pac-12 holdovers. Bit of a spooky start for the offenses. Moments ago, Brandon Baylor caught up with the Oregon State interim head coach, Rob Akey.
Coach, it seems like that defense is showing up for you. Of course, the interception and the stop and turnover downs. What's been going on?
Well, I was excited about that. You know, certainly starting with the takeaway, that was cool, get that killed. And then being able to push them back, because it had them up, you know, they were in field goal range, and get them knocked out of that. I was happy about that. Now, I'd like to see the offense extend the drive there. We were moving the ball great, and we just got to make another play here and there and get that thing continued, and we get ourselves down there to the promised land.
I appreciate it, Coach.
You got it. Y'all have a ball. Thanks.
Have a ball, we are. I'm cracking up, man. First of all, I'm going to throw it out there. Coach got to be the head coach, man. They got to give him a chance to be the head coach. If not, let him come in the booth with us. His personality is amazing.
It's infectious is what it is, and this run is a stellar one from Anthony Hankerson to the outside. Hankerson, the big run on the ground is 16.
And that's what that personality will do. It sparks belief. Give the ball to number 0, Hankerson. One man can't tackle him. He runs hard, man. He runs hard. He's got a lot of pride. We sat down with this young man, and he's saying he's staying positive throughout. And that's what Coach Akey has brought to this group, belief and positivity.
Yeah, positive energy, and it is rubbed off on the running back, as you mentioned. You would not have believed that this was a 1-7 football team when we had our meetings with them yesterday. Hankerson again does not go down easy. Does get about a yard. So Rob Akey, we talked about his energy, his personality, not just in those interviews, pretty much everyone.
My family might like it when I come home and see me smile again. I don't know. The dogs still talk to me, so I think that's a good thing.
So I was an English major. You could tell by how well I speak. Not a math major, but I think there's somewhere around 365 days in a year.
I think that's awesome. That's Beaver Nation, man. That's cool. I might have to take
College football, all about characters and personalities, and Akey is definitely one of those. As Zach Carr can't catch up with that one, it's incomplete. But that's exactly who Akey was back when he was the coach at Idaho. Didn't have many wins there. It was just, what, 20 and 50 in his 6 years there, but you still got that energy and positivity when he was the coach there.
They do, and they're positively looking. Oregon State on that. Akey wanted targeting on that play. Chris, not going to get it. It's going to set up a 3rd and 8 here. And again, not ideal situations for Jabari Johnson, but he's got to settle down and go through his reads.
Johnson's pressure, makes one miss, dances outside, tries to break contain, steps through a tackle, but is still shy of the first. Bryson Lamb ran him out of bounds, but you see the electricity of Johnson on that run.
You see it, and look at the rush there. 44 Parker McKenna left unblocked. You're not going to touch Johnson. The dead leg, he brings out the and one mixtape move, and that's what this kid can do. But great hustle, great pursuit. That is a great play to show you what Johnson's capable of, but the effort of this defense.
These kids ain't know nothing about the and one mixtape tour
before their time. The baggy pants are back, though. The baggy shorts are back.
Oh, coming back, news to me. Freeman from the 16. Jukes reverses 25. The professor. Escalade was a legend too. I love the M1 mixtape tour. You're talking my language. The chainsaw has forced one turnover for the Beavers. Bees and Cougs. It's always fun when they meet.
Oh, no. Sir Kyle is down.
But the sword fight.
Driving, but then the strip, the sack, and R. Mason Thomas wins the wrestling match. Has some help. Maybe goes out of bounds right there. Pulls something, but gets in the end zone. And it is all tied up now between Josh Heupel and his alma mater in Knoxville, guys.
All right, so that's a wild one already. This one hasn't had the scoring yet. Well, it's still been fun. Zebby Eckhouse for Washington State. Quarterback with a lot of moxie and personality. First down handoff. Angel Johnson past the 30 to the 31. Cord Shaw on the tackle. It's going out on the sideline for Brandon.
Yeah, Chris, it's so funny to think when we talk about both these head coaches, polar opposites. Akey, it just seems like he's just a ball of energy. When we spoke to him, it was all positive. You would have thought they were 7-1 instead of 1-7. On the flip side, Rogers is all business. Of course, coming from South Dakota State, where he won so many games, obviously wasn't happy with the 4-4 record, as I mentioned at the top of the game here. So one side, you have fun. The other, all business.
It's interesting with Rogers is his running back Johnson gets space along the outside, tiptoes the sideline before Kobe Singleton finally runs him out. Big gain for Washington State to set up another first.
Well, Jimmy Rogers, all business, came from South Dakota State. Angel Johnson as well, about his business. We have an injury on the field.
Player down, back by the 30. Take a look as we return.
With Domino's, 2 medium, 2 topping.
Who loves the DMV. Okay, maybe not the real DMV, but the new hit comedy critics call hilarious. New DMV, CBS, this Monday, 8:30, 7:30 Central. Love the last couple days here in Corvallis. Last play, Tavita Pomee was down, but walked back up and headed towards that medical tent.
I would love to see this Washington State offense open it up and take some shots down the field.
This is the area of the field to do it. Instead, Johnson dances outside and triple team tackle with Aiden Sullivan delivering the last hit. Jaheim Patterson was there first.
I was speaking before the injury that Angel Johnson came from South Dakota State with Jimmy Rogers. And he's got 75 new players, 15 of them or so from South Dakota State, and his entire South Dakota State staff came with him as well. And it's taken some time, but they really found their footing. You know he's all business. His arms are always crossed. He's won a national championship there. He's only had 2 losses, I believe, in his coaching career there, so he's not used to this 4-4 start.
It's just drastically different. So takes those losses as seriously as ever. Flings to the sideline, but penalty markers down. 3 of them come flying in, dotting up the Beaver logo right at midfield.
Holding, offense, number 71, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
So Aston Tripp gets called where pretty much every referee saw it.
When you have 3 flags come out, that's going to be an egregious holding. I'll tell you that, for them all to see it. 71, left side of your screen right there, just doesn't let go, pulls, and does not let Wallen obviously get past him, and that's going to be a penalty. He's been beat twice so far this game, and this is where they thought they had an advantage, kind of up front. They've been banged up front, but they've been playing well as of late, and right now the Oregon State defensive front is winning.
Gonna get a chance to see the redshirt freshman Maxwell Woods into the game at running back. Quick toss to the Oregon State transfer, Jeremiah Noga, who makes his first catch. Excited to play against his former team. He played 43 games in 4 years as a Beaver.
This is a revenge game for Noga. No other way to put it. Simple sits it down here to set up a 3rd and 12. Zevi Eckhouse has turned the ball over in this situation. They're going to put the ball in their quarterback's hands. I want to find Joshua Meredith if I'm him. That's his go-to guy. I would find him. He's lined up top of the screen in the slot. Number 18.
Without a catch so far in this game. Showing blitz, come with heat. Eckhouse surrounded, loses the football. Washington State back on top of it as Aiden Sullivan came in. This defense had only 8 sacks all season coming into this game. That is their 3rd sack in the first half.
Look at Skylar Thomas, number 17. Goes right by Johnny Lesser, the tackle. The tackles have been getting beat all day. They found the recipe early in the game. Bring pressure on 3rd down. Washington State has not picked it up. The tackles have been beat around the edges. Huge play from the safety, the captain, Skylar Thomas.
To that point, they were bottom 10 in the nation in sacks. Not looking like that at all so far in this one. Fair catch inside the 15, Trent Walker. Yeah, these defenses, the Pac-12 showdown, not letting up.
Timeout on the field.
Kathy Bates.
Chiefs, Josh Allen and the Bills. All begins noon Eastern. JB and the guys live in Buffalo on the NFL Today. Get an early glimpse at 10 a.m. with the NFL Today. Plus, you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus.
I want to see Coach go through a table again.
Do it again.
How's his back going to handle that every single year? That's not good for his insurance.
I just know that CBS has documented the Chiefs and Bills matchups year after year. It's just been so fun to follow. We get another chapter coming up tomorrow. Anthony Hankerson there on first down. In games so far, Logan, the defenses have come to play in a rivalry that usually the offenses are highlighting.
It's scary hours right now on defenses. They definitely showed up. These fans have showed up. The Oregon State defense, the Washington State has one of the best defenses in the country the last 4 weeks. Which one of these offenses are going to make a play and steal some momentum?
Almost looking for that early breakthrough. Johnson hands. Hankerson to the 20. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
Set up a 3rd down here for Jabari Johnson. 3rd and 4. The run game's still available. The quarterback run, maybe you run a QB draw and open it up. But if you're going to throw the ball, I want to find number 7, Trent Walker. Their leading receiver, that's play caller Danny Langsdorff. Did a good job in the first game that he called 2 weeks ago when they won it. But Trent Walker lined up right here at top of the stack.
Dave Milborn was the tight end in motion. Johnson looks right, throws that direction, and incomplete. Had a lot of hang time on that pass. David Wells Jr. was the intended target.
That did not look too coordinated of a route concept to me. It's never good to have 2 wide receivers in the same place. Goodman does a good job on top of Walker. Actually comes off and almost intercepts that, but I don't like the pass concept there. I don't think they ran the right play.
Is that the defensive back doing a good job at the line of scrimmage to sort of throw off the initial route, or is that just a miscommunication?
I believe the defensive back did a great job in the line of scrimmage, but even that the receivers being that close and both releasing outside right into each other's path doesn't make sense to me.
That was a wide snap. Great job by Windsor to handle it from Haberland. Bounces. I think it hit the back of a Beaver, so it'll be dead there. Right around the 36. Still looking for a breakthrough in Corvallis.
Timeout on the field.
As an official sponsor.
10, it's Michigan at the half, leading Purdue 14-7. Jordan Marshall has both Wolverines touchdowns. He and Justice Haynes rack up more yards on the ground than any Power 4 running back tandem out there, guys.
Still scoreless. Looking for our first points here in Corvallis. Washington State and Oregon State. Defenses have shined. And for more of these defenses, let's check in with Brandon.
Yeah, Chris, we talked about this earlier leading into this game when we spoke to co-defensive coordinator Toyaki about who's calling the plays and how that dynamic is working with all the assistant coaches. They just sat here on the sideline for moments at a semicircle. D-line, linebackers, and secondary, and kind of sharing and going through the game plan. I don't know, Logan, I've never seen that before, so your thoughts on that?
Well, it's working. Whoever's calling it, it's working.
Meredith gets loose for the first time for Washington State. Tiptoes along the sideline. Patterson runs him out. It's one of the challenges that Oregon State has had on this defensive side.
And the reason why Oregon State's defense has led up 33 points per game has been because of miscommunication in the secondary. A lot of big plays. They're giving up 260 passing yards per game. That's 119th in the country. They've done a good job so far, but a couple times we have seen right there like a receiver cut loose.
And that's exactly where Meredith was. He was loose along the near sideline. That was a gain of 18. Voorhees on first. Pile moves around the 40. All right, you've been a part of a lot of successful teams at the next level in the NFL. At the college level here, with a coaching turnover, take me through what it's like as one of the guys who, you mentioned the miscommunications. How difficult is it to remain on the same page?
It's a lot of confusion because you got to worry about your job, but I really like Coach Rob Akey's ability to keep the team together right now.
Floated far side, but incomplete. Eckhouse looking for Freeman. And his 3rd down and 7 coming up.
Beautiful coverage there by Vindralale. able to kind of lock up in the slot here. This is a tough route to defend. He gets his head back. There's no pass interference there because they're both playing the ball. I really like that coverage by them. And it sets up another third down. And this, you got to feel like if you're Washington State and you feel like you're the better team, you got to start stepping up on these third down to extend these drives.
Oregon State has gotten after Eckhouse all night. Flat down, laser, and incompletes. Joshua Merritt trying to climb the ladder. Mentioned there was a penalty marker down right at the start of the play.
Flag on the other side of the field. This is great coverage too. On top of the receiver, your head's back. That is beautiful coverage. The flag's coming on the other side of the field.
Offside in the neutral zone at the snap. Defense, number 44, 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Takari Hickle. Eckhouse recognized that immediately and knew he had this free play.
Yeah, Takari Hickle right there. Looked like he lined up offsides in the neutral zone already. And that's very frustrating when you're a corner and you have a great rep like that, because you don't always have great ones. And they target you, get off the field, and when you're line, it kind of lines up in the neutral zone.
Yeah, it turns what was a 3rd and 7 into a 3rd and 2.
The run game's alive here for Washington State.
Quarterback run game is alive. Eckhouse needed the 34, and he's short. At least the initial spot says he still has a yard to go. Then a penalty marker comes in.
A late flag. You're looking at extracurriculars, I would think.
No Love lost, so John Love will tell us what's going on.
During the play, personal foul, face mask, defense, number 10, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
They got Saez on the face mask here. You see him right there at the end, grabs Lechner's face mask. Lechner's got his hand on him. They throw the flag there. I don't see much. I mean, someone got your hand on you, you can get your hand off them. You want something maybe offsetting there at times, but that's a super costly penalty on a 3rd and short.
I can't remember the times I've seen a personal foul face mask called post-play like that, but
yeah, and the ref, it's right in front of the umpire right there. You still can't do it though, Chris. You know, even though it should be offsetting, you still can't grab the face mask in front of the ump.
Would have been a 4th down.
They got man-to-man up top.
Looks that way from the 20-yard line. Eckhouse scrambles, no receiver on this side of the field, finally a crosser, but he just throws it away.
No intentional grounding because Eckhouse is outside the pocket there. They had the man-to-man coverage, but the Oregon State DBs are just locking up right now, Chris. Nobody was open. Eckhouse wisely threw the ball away. You're in scoring range. You think you have a field goal here based on field position, so Eckhouse did a wise job to throw the ball away.
Butch the Cougar was the only Cougar that was open on the sideline. There you go, Butch, getting that face time. That was a great catch. Early movement on 2nd down, likely a false start.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 66, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Over under, Chris, we get 2 smiles out of Jimmy Rogers today.
Oh, I'm going under.
It is, he's not smiling right now, he's shaking his head. The offense has started slow today, to say the least. They got to get going. Jimmy is not happy.
I'm talking to Coach Jimmy Rogers. He said Clark Lee has been his biggest coaching mentor. Vanderbilt had a tough loss today against Texas, trying to come back. Did not have enough. Eckhouse over the middle and intercepted. Boy, that went right to the defensive back. This is Jaheim Patterson shuttling out of bounds, and the second interception thrown by Eckhouse. That is his 6th pick in the last 3 games.
And that's Jaheim Patterson's 2nd interception. And brother, if you're gonna dunk it, you gotta get up. But the ball is finding number 6's way. Go get your turnover chainsaw. Is that legal in the stadium? That's a weapon, isn't it? Doesn't matter. Jaheim Patterson held the chainsaw twice today.
There is no foul on the play. The contact was legal. The ball was intercepted. 1st and 10, Oregon State.
Zevi Eckhouse has been turning it over as of late. Kind of floats that one over the middle. Right to Jaheim Patterson. Going to the near sideline where you're taught. He's trying to find Meredith, but does not see the backside safety. That is too easy for Jaheim for his 2nd pick.
Putting the ball in harm's way when your team's right at the doorstep of the red zone. And this is what Oregon State, both of these teams, -8 in turnover margin coming into this game. They needed to make plays defensively. We heard it from Coach Rob Akey, and Patterson is the playmaker.
And they have not had a lot of interceptions, and they got 2 today.
Hankerson. Oh, those moves in tight spaces gets to midfield. Parker McKenna, leading tackler for Washington State, tallies another one with a pickup of 7.
And Chris, good teams play complementary football. When you get a turnover, now that's that offense's job to get off the bench, run on the field, and capitalize. And Oregon State has not been a good team yet this year. But now with interim coach Rob Akey, they have new life. They got to capitalize on this drive right here.
5 takeaways all season heading into this game. They already have 2 in the first half of this one. Hankerson picks up the 1st down, brought down by his opposite number 0, Polano.
Beautiful camera. Look at the Red Sea part there for Hankerson to be able to get downfield. Untouched for 6 yards.
Positive energy has been the theme for Oregon State over these last couple of weeks. A lot to be positive about in this first half. Hankerson once more, right up the guts.
And I love what the play caller, Danny Langsdorff, is doing. Give the ball to my best player 3 times in a row. If Hankerson touched the ball 25+ times today, they're probably going to win this game. Find ways to get number 0 the ball.
Eckhouse threw his 2nd pick. Hankerson coming off of a career game, over 200 rushing yards, 4 rushing touchdowns against Lafayette in the first and only Oregon State win. Against the rush of 4, the running threat Johnson, first time taking off in open space. He's inside the 30, 29-yard line, and another 1st down Beavers.
Things are getting chippy over here.
Oregon State wanted to go fast, instead some pushing and shoving after the play. Yeah, the counter's still under of Smiles.
This is what Jabari Johnson does best. It's not there, and he's super elusive and shifty. All the moves he makes. Lucky he's not a face mask caught on that one. We got some extracurriculars again.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense number 53, his 1st of the game. Half the distance to the goal, automatic 1st down.
The defensive tackle, Sony Finau, after the play.
You see Sony Finau, 53 right there. Shove somebody in the back. And they're doing some barking. I mean, I've been in some rivalry games. I get it, they got to play each other twice this year, but things are starting to heat up over here in Corvallis.
When disaster.
It's Wednesday, 8/7 Central, and streaming on Paramount Plus. By the way, the Tribal Council set for this season is just unbelievable.
Fire represents your life.
The shipwreck theme is crazy. All right, 1st downs in this game. Oregon State has had the better of play. Neither team's been able to finish off a drive as we get late in the first half. Rodgers' defense needs to lock in. Ball for Oregon State at the 14.
And Washington State's defense, Jimmy Rodgers' defense, is really good in the red area. So this is not over yet. They can still make a last stand here.
Hankerson. Different when we have Johnson as a running threat as well. He could keep it at any moment and bounce to the outside. That's just a game of a couple.
And this ugly first half is such an advantage for Oregon State. When you're the 1-7 team, you're able to keep the game close as long as possible, then you have more belief. I'm in no rush to snap the ball here. I would run all this 4 minutes down as much as I can to kind of bleed out this first half.
Light rain starting to fall. It's been raining a good chunk of the day in Corvallis. Blitz on. Johnson throws. Caught Walker. And he's wrapped up. Tucker Large, true to his name. And it's third down.
They brought the pressure there. And Tucker Large with a beautiful open field tackle. This is what this team's been working on, open field tackling. That's Oregon State's best wide receiver. You see Tucker Large wraps up there. No yards after catch. That's what you got to do when you're a DB.
Jimmy Rogers, the coach for Washington State, said, missed tackles are burning my soul. It's just been such a negative for the team this year. That was a great tackle by Large.
3rd and 7 here on find number 7.
Blitz on, and down goes Johnson. Had no time to find any number. Caleb Franzel gets credit for the sack.
The Thieves have been pressure on 3rd down. Caleb Franzel is going to blitz right off this edge. Unblocked, and Jabari Johnson's got to know when they got more than you can block, the ball has to come out. You cannot take a sack in that situation.
So 4th down, field goal unit on Caleb Ojeda. See the numbers there, just 4 for 9. He's had 3 field goals blocked this year. Will Hammerlin's the long snapper. A.J. Windsor is the holder. That operation has been a problem. This from 35. Everything perfect on that one. It's good. Flag down at the end. Oregon State breaks the seal finally, 3-0. This is the first of 2 meetings between these teams. They play the day after Thanksgiving as well as the day after Halloween.
More flags. Coach Akey saw it. He spotted it.
No holiday spirit.
The field goal is good. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 99, his first of the game. 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. Timeout on the field.
So that's Bryson Lamb after the play. It's getting heated. These 2 teams in the Pac-12, they'll be growing next season. And extra point made of participating universities by donating to the university's athletic scholarship fund, supporting all student athletes. Thank you to Allstate. I knew we'd have some costumes the day after Halloween.
I don't know what costume that is.
Jimmy Rogers not in a holiday or celebrating mood. His team down 3-0. And they've committed 6 penalties already in this first half. 1 after the field goal made, but moves the kickoff to midfield.
And they've been uncharacteristically undisciplined today. That is not what this team is. That is not what Jimmy Rogers is. He's about toughness, discipline, physicality. And that physicality has come after the whistle, which led to way too many penalties.
See how they handle the kickoff being from midfield and just send it right through the end zone for a touchback. Let's go down to Brandon.
Yeah, Chris, I had a chance to speak to Xavier Eckhouse earlier this week about being more consistent. We spoke to the coaches. That was the one thing they said about his leadership in terms of taking over since that Apple Cup. He said he wanted to be more consistent in taking the right steps and making the right calls and putting his team in the right possession. But we've seen those 2 interceptions, so maybe going a little backwards from what I heard earlier this week.
All right, thanks, Brandon. Now I'm going to follow up real quick. We're taking a look at the rain. How is it down there on the field?
It's not too bad. This is coming from a guy who lives in Florida, so this is not too bad. It's very light drizzle, so it's bearable. I'll say that.
It's a little more chilly of a rain than what you're used to in Florida.
Absolutely.
Calling the game with 2 guys who live in Florida, in fact. Here is Eckhouse. Hands it off. Voorhees needs to hold on to that ball. Now, to Brandon's report, talking about the growth from Eckhouse. You saw him in his first start of the season, the Apple Cup. Where have you seen the growth?
He has his Baker Mayfield ability about him where He creates electric plays, extend plays, does some magical things. I mean, this guy's been playing in college for a long time. He's had a lot of success, but that also has led to turnovers. Knowing how to make the smart decision. He needs to do this. This is a 2-minute drive situation. They have both timeouts plus a 2-minute timeout coming up. This would be a massive drive for them to drive the ball down the field and get points.
That's a 4-man rush, backpedals and throws behind the intended receiver. Tyke Hill coming in right in the grill of the quarterback.
And now with that incomplete pass, stop clock, Oregon State's looking like they can get the ball back before half with all their timeouts. So Oregon State has been bringing pressure on third downs, and Eckhouse has been taking sacks. He's got to anticipate the pressure here and find one of his receivers in a favorable matchup.
Now, Oregon State has really been a disaster this year in the middle 8. Last 4 of the first half, first 4 of the second half. This could be big, a swing, if they can get off the field. Third down, 9 to go. Eckhouse lasers over the middle. Joshua Meredith makes the catch and has enough for the first down at the 36.
That's an interesting spot. But just enough for the first down. They don't bring the pressure. They drop in the zone. Eckhouse finds it. He's got the ball, 2 minutes left in the first half.
Buy the Old Spice NFL.
Go. A defensive-oriented first half. Aaron Corvallis, Chris Lewis, Logan Ryan, Brandon Baylor here on CBS. Gene Sarator with us as well. 3 timeouts left for Oregon State, 2 for Washington State. Cougars football right after the 2-minute timeout at their own 36.
And with the 2 timeouts, Chris, everything's available for them. They can still run the ball here. They can throw the ball down the field. They can throw the ball over the middle of the field.
Eckhouse keeps, looks to his right, and instead lowers his shoulder. And that's the style that Eckhouse plays with. He gains 11 on the ground. Sullivan makes the tackle, and inside of 2 minutes, the clock will stop initially to reset, and then it'll go again.
And I love the quarterback run game there. You see the fake to make the defenders miss. I think he plays better the more he runs around.
See if he scrambles here. No inside the pocket. Slings over the middle. Jeremiah Noga, another first down, Washington State.
And the clock stops on these first downs here. Jeremiah Noga, the former Beaver, in-cut there, wins right away. Eckhouse seems like he's settling down in the first half.
It also looks like the pace has given a jolt to Washington State's offense as well. 4-man pressure. Eckhouse will run and stride and sprints inside the 20. He is fun to watch. Eckhouse, the star from LA.
Now you're seeing the Eckhouse that I saw in the Apple Cup. This is what he brings. Chris, when it's not there, he's able to run. But what do you notice defensively? Oregon State is sitting back in zones. And I don't like that because it allows Eckhouse too many running lanes. Carter Pass might have got away with a block in the back there. But when you have these 2 safeties sitting up high, that allows too much zone for him to throw the ball to, or he's able to extend plays with his legs. I like when Oregon State was bringing pressure on Eckhouse.
See 1 deep safety here. Play clock late at just 2. Eckhouse does get it off. 3 receivers near side. That's direction. 3-man knocked away. Defender did not turn the head around, and that's why the flag is out. Jaleel Tucker, the Beaver in coverage.
You called it. 1 safety deep. They brought pressure. Eckhouse through the 1-on-1, and the DB's not able to get his head around there. Jaleel Tucker.
Pass interference, defense number 22. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Junior from San Diego called for the pass interference, and Washington State has a chance to get on the board before the end of the second quarter.
Eckhouse has settled down. They look pretty dominant on this drive. Seeing they woke up from all the extracurriculars, the bad penalties, the interceptions. This more looks like the Washington State team we've been seeing the last few weeks. Number 23, Trey Lechner, is a tight end who comes alive sometimes in the red zone.
Heavy personnel in on this set. They shift around and snap it to Voorhees, and Voorhees is stood up at the 1. Washington State thought he was in. Clock continues to move inside of 40.
Voorhees, you know he's not going to go down the first contact. He's going to reach out and dive here. Tough to see if that ball crossed or didn't, but the refs marked it short.
There's the lunge.
You see his knee is down, but where's that ball at? Knee down right here. From that view, we can't say it, but it looked like this is going to be a better view for us. I think that ball might have crossed before that knee went down.
I'm with you. I think his knee is elevated until that moment. But
Look at the ball right here. It's good.
Is over the goal line. All right, for the first time in this game, we get a chance to hear from Gene's territory.
Guys, I'm just looking at it now, and I think I agree with you totally. I think Kirby lays right out what a great job he does of keeping his legs off as he extends. I was also looking at the left elbow to see if it hit prior to the ball breaking the plane. But with him straight-legging with his legs and keeping them off the ground right there, you see the ball break the plane to the goal line before a body part's down. They're going to go touchdown after review on this play, fellas.
That's exactly how we see it. Appreciate it, Gene. And that angle right down the line gives you everything you need to see. You can see the knee, you can see the elbow, and you can see the ball.
Great job by our camera crew there to capture that. We got the great Gene's territory on the call. He's got a great view of it as well. And here it is. The ball crossed that line while that knee's down. Knee down right now. Look where the ball. And it just got to break this part of the white line right there.
The very front part. John Love is our referee. Our replay official is Jerry Meyerhoff.
After review, the runner crossed the goal line with the ball prior to being down. It is a touchdown. Timer. Please set the clock to 44 seconds. 44 seconds.
Key there with the clock at 44, but the most pressing matter is the touchdown where Voorhees on the ground, his third rushing touchdown of the season. And Jimmy Rogers' team executes the 2-minute drill to perfection.
Kirby Voorhees, I called him Jason Voorhees earlier. He's not going to go down easily.
His biggest game of the year was against Ole Miss at 88 yards and a big 46-yard touchdown run. Gets in from a couple yards away, and the extra point by Jack Stevens goes through. 7-3 Washington State. Coming up on the Geico halftime report. Adam, Aaron, Rick, BJ, they'll get you caught up on all the best action from around the country, as well as take a look at the first half of this one. It's coming up on the Geico halftime report. One touchdown, still no smiles, of course, from Jimmy Rogers. It is all business. It was set up from this pass interference.
Zevi Eckhouse was on fire the entire drive. They went to man, got the pass interference, and Kirby Voorhees, with all fight, all heart, reaches, crosses the goal line there to punch it in for Washington State.
Our conversation with Danny Freund, the offensive coordinator, the words that he used to describe Voorhees: competitor, tough, physical. I think you saw all three of those words on that short touchdown run.
I think Rob Akey and this Oregon State team have a decision to make. They have all 3 timeouts with 44 seconds left. How aggressive are they in this 2-minute situation?
This is Hatcher, who lets this one go by. So that is the decision for Coach Akey. You have a quarterback in Jabari Johnson, as you see in the numbers from Eckhouse on that last drive. As you highlighted it, Johnson's more of a runner, not much of the aerial attack weapon. You have 3 timeouts, 44 seconds, and you feel like every possession you have the football is of value. You don't want to just toss one away.
And they've used multiple quarterbacks before, but we were told it's a 1 QB game. Malik Murphy won't be coming in unless necessary. So it is Jabari Johnson's show. He only has 14 passing yards today. He's not the downfield thrower, but he might have to be in this drive.
And Trent Walker in the slot, top of the screen. Johnson checks down. Hankerson wants the sidelines, does not get there. With 3 timeouts, Oregon State will likely use one of them.
What a great job by Buda Paletti in that defense and not let him get out of bounds. I can't tell you how many times defenders make that mistake to make Oregon State use that timeout. Look at Buda Paletti, number 10 here. Run this down in the corner to keep his leverage. Kobe Humphrey to not allow Hankerson to get out of bounds. Really smart play.
Remember from watching you in your days with multiple teams in the NFL, you're one of those guys in the secondary who would not be afraid to get in there and make that hit just like that to save time. Good play there by the secondary of Washington State.
Now Oregon State also needs to be mindful of how much time they want to give the ball back to Washington State. I might hand this ball off, see if Anthony Hankerson give me more yards, or Cornell Hatcher, instead of throwing it downfield.
It is Hatcher, the tailback. Low snap. Over the middle, behind the receiver, and incomplete. Looking for Bryce Caulfield, the tight end. So that's exactly what you mentioned, Logan. So there's 33 seconds. Washington State has 2 timeouts.
And if you throw the ball, it can't be incomplete, because now it's a stop clock. Washington State preserved all their timeouts, and they're fully expecting now to get the ball back with good field position and 2 timeouts. You need to find a way to run the ball here or throw a screen. Whatever you need to do, you got to make Washington State burn one of their timeouts.
They empty it out, but of course the quarterback is a threat to run. They bring Hatcher back towards the formation as the tailback. On 3rd and 9, they're going to the air. This is a screen. You called it, Logan. It's complete, but goes absolutely nowhere. Buda Paletti, an excellent drive. He makes the stop in a Washington State timeout with 26 seconds.
Exactly. Buda Paletti might have a wiretap into Oregon State's play calling. I mean, there's not a screen he hasn't read. He wrecked that whole drive for them. And he's able to get the ball back to his offense with a timeout. And Zevi Eckhouse is on fire on the other side.
You knew the screen was coming. It felt like Paletti knew the screen was coming.
A little too predictable as the music gets grim in the stadium.
It really did. And you have like the cloud cover overhead as well with the sun starting to set. It's like a DJ that knows the theme of a wedding. It's just a well-timed right song at the right time.
There, hey, okay. May the force be with you, brother. Oh, wow, he put the Vader choke. Here we go. Look like Washington State's rushing this punt as well.
Oregon State has had 4 kicks blocked this year. Low snap, and that one was nearly blocked, but Windsor gets it off. It bounces and rolls. As Freeman gets on top of it inside the 40-yard line. And it's a half that has been ominous for the offenses for the most part. But Eckhouse led the 2-minute drill touchdown drive and has 19 seconds, 1 timeout. And you get 1 completion, Logan, around midfield, and you get to the range where you can make some strikes.
Hail Mary attempt, you get to the 35-yard line, you get the target range of the kicker. So you're thinking big downfield shots here. Balls out of bounds or something deep over the middle, over 10 yards, you get a stop clock. Zevi Eckhouse is more than capable of getting them in range.
Eckhouse, 111 passing yards so far in this game. Wheels, but does not deal. Instead, he's dumped back inside the 30. And I imagine Washington State will let that clock wind down, and that'll be the final play of the first half.
You just can't take a sack in this situation. It kills your whole drive. I would like something simpler to start, but the Oregon State D-line has come to play. We got ourselves a game.
There's 4 sacks in the first half for a team that had just 8 coming in. End of the first half, 7-3. Washington State leads Oregon State. For Brandon's halftime interview with Coach Rogers, go to X at CBS Sports CFB. Now, first half stats from Corvallis. Washington State got into a rhythm throwing the football late. in that first half. 2 turnovers, though, key. Oregon State leading the turnover battle. He's Logan Ryan. I'm Chris Lewis. Brandon Baylor, he's on the sideline. So in a rivalry that has had a lot of high-scoring games over the years, defenses starred for the most part.
They did. They both showed up. I mean, we expected Washington State's defense to show up, but who would have thought we would have saw this version of Oregon State's defense kind of come and have a bunch of turnovers and make some splash plays?
Well, it's time for the game trends. They're brought to you by Wells Fargo. And you can see Eckhouse, he really found it more towards the back part of that first half.
Yeah, he started with the 2 INTs. Jaheim Patterson has a big day statistically right now. And Eckhouse settled down. Voorhees got going towards the late. Jabari Johnson, not quite the passer. Then you got to get more run game out of them. But in the first half here, it was all Oregon State's defense early. Jaheim Johnson with not 1, 2 picks. That's a career day. But then Eckhouse settled down, leading to Kirby Voorhees punching it in there right before the half. Washington State woke up. Jimmy Rogers wants him to wake up a little earlier.
Yeah, he's not too thrilled, even though his team is leading. He was lamenting the penalties at halftime. 6 penalties for his team, saying that's not how you win a matchup against Rob Akey's Oregon State team. Ryan Harris kicks off. And Hatcher to return from the 5. Hatcher brought down quickly as he's only able to get to the 16. For reporting the coaches, let's check in with Brandon.
Chris, I had a chance to speak to Coach Akey, and as you can imagine, he gave me a bunch of one-liners, but I'm trying to keep it simple here. He said he loves what the defense is doing. They're going to keep that pressure on when it comes to the offense of Washington State. I also asked about Jabari Johnson and his thoughts on what he's seen so far for the passing game. He told Jabari in the locker room he's doing a hell of a job, wants him to keep the pressure on.
There you go. Well, Johnson, you look at the passing numbers in that first half. Okay, not too high on the list there, with just 7 passing yards as a team. But running the football, and they had some longer drives in that first half. Couldn't capitalize at the end of those. There's a comeback route on first down to Bryce Caulfield. Cale Reeder makes the stop.
I really want to see how they handle the second half with Jabari Johnson. You're going to need more than 7 passing yards to win a game. And I know that he's a runner. I know that the run game's opened up. Well, they got to establish that, or he's got to throw the ball downfield more.
Well, they get right into the backfield on a second down run to Hankerson. And Sullivan Schlimgen makes his first impact play.
Sullivan Schlimgen, the freshman, has earned more playing time because he's been playing like this as of late. And here's the thing that we love about quarterback play, Chris, dual threat, right? The guys who can run it and throw it. When you have a quarterback that's so one-sided, just a runner, the defense knows that as well.
And Schlimgen knew it right away. 3rd down and 6. Empty it out. Johnson looks left, throws that way, and Walker is drilled immediately. Forward progress is close to the sticks, but not enough. And it's 4th down.
This is right there. This is a bang-bang play. Johnson does deliver a good ball. But there's a reason why Washington State's only given up 13.5 points per game. They're one of the most sound defenses in college football. I mean, they pretty much shut down Ole Miss and Virginia. Those are 2 pretty good teams.
Now, how tempted would you be to go for this as the punt unit comes on for Oregon State?
Not in this field position. If this is at the 50-yard line, absolutely. But this, being on your own 25, is far too aggressive.
Windsor will get this one off against the Washington State rush. Freeman to the 37. There is a penalty marker down. It's back at the 32. First half had 9 combined penalties. 6 of them were on Washington State.
During the kick, holding receiving team number 21. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down. Timeout on the field.
Will not like that. Penalty number 7 on his team, but they get the football up by 4.
When holiday inspiration sparks, there's only one thing to do.
I don't got this.
You need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Knock out your flu symptoms with NyQuil Intense Flu. You do got this. NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever, best sleep with the flu medicine.
Pick 6 for $19.99 is the perfect meal for two.
I can't believe we're on a date.
Oh, I'm just here for pick 6.
Imagine what our kids would look like.
I don't want to have kids with you.
6 kids.
6!
Pick 6!
Wait, could we eat here every meal?
Yes.
All right, I'm down. Pick 6 meal for two for $19.99.
Saturday, 3:30 Eastern on CBS. Another big-time matchup featuring one of these key games as we head down the crucial stretch of this season. Our coverage begins 2:30 with State Farm College Football Today. The Big Ten is on CBS, streaming on Paramount+. Well, we have the 2 holdovers from the Pac-12, which next year will have 8 teams. A handful from the Mountain West. And Texas State will join as the opponents for Washington State and Oregon State, who this year playing independent schedules. One of the many challenges that both of these programs have had to go through this season. Angel Johnson on first down, marches to the 21. Aiden Sullivan from Oregon State was the first one there.
Interested to see what version of Washington State's offense we're going to see.
Yeah.
First half, they did a little bit nothing until the last drive when they drove it down the field. So, are we going to see that version of Zevi Eckhouse when he marched right down the field with the pass game and the run game and his legs working? Or are we going to see the interception? So, I like when they utilize the quarterback run game. That's when Zevi Eckhouse seems like he's at his most comfortable.
Yeah, we've gotten the Eckhouse experience. Is what made him a fun quarterback to watch. The creativity, but also the negative side of that with 2 interceptions. On second, they fake the pitch. Eckhouse off the back foot just tosses it aside. So it'll be 3rd down and long coming up for the Cougs.
Just no room on that short side of the field. Sets up a 3rd and 10 here. When Oregon State sat in zone coverages and only rushed 4, Eckhouse has been efficient. When they brought pressure, that allows some one-on-ones, but they have gotten to Eckhouse.
So you think they're coming with some heat here?
Or maybe they just take their shirt off and do that. You know, that's something they can do as well. The fans, obviously.
I feel like that's growing more and more as like the trend. You get that one section, the shirtless section. 3rd down for the 21. They do come with pressure. Out pattern, caught with the hands extended away from the body by Meredith. But he's still shy of 1st down yardage. Ventrawale there in coverage.
And when you bring pressure, you got to rally up and tackle. Ventrawale does a great job. Knowing he's in man-to-man, the ball has to come out. That's the go-to guy, Meredith. And that effort was able to get this to a 4th and 2, and it looks like obviously Washington State's going to punt the ball here.
Logan, you were all over it. Oregon State had a decision to make. Do they sit back in coverage or come after the quarterback? They came after the quarterback. They don't get the sack, but it works. Harris swings that right leg. Trent Walker is the returner. It bounces before him and down at about the 41. Second half starting similar to how the first half did, with defenses getting into a groove.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance.
Allstate. Verizon. And by Taco Bell. Terry Baker, the only person in NCAA history to have the Heisman in football and play in a Final Four in basketball. Of course, college basketball just days away, a couple of days away from the season starting on CBS Sports Network. Houston and Lehigh going head-to-head, and they have the coverage on CBS and CBS Sports Network all season long. This is the 3rd game of a triple header on CBS college football. They're starting this drive. Anthony Hankerson crawling towards midfield. Jamori Collison, the corner, on the stop.
This is the guy. I said the straw that stirs the drink. Anthony Hankerson, I mentioned he needs 25 carries at least today. The pass game isn't working. Keep finding ways to get the ball to number 0. Handoffs are the easiest ways. Good things happen when he touches the ball. You see 60 yards on 13 carries.
He's up to 13, so about halfway to the total that you highlighted. And again, It's a one-score game, so no reason not to feature back. Although Washington State all over this one initially. He needed midfield and looks to be about a half-yard shy.
And I'd do it again, run into him again. The problem is these boxes are loaded, Chris, and you got to take one shot over the top to lighten it up. You just got to at least throw the ball down the field to give the illusion, the threat that you're capable and willing to. On this 3rd and short, though, this is 4-down territory for me. I'll go for this twice. Tush push, hand it off to Hankerson, whatever you got to do.
They get to the line quick. Is this the time where they take the shot? Ball handling misfortune. Ball still on the turf. They botch the play action fake. They get back on top of the football, Malachi Durant. But still, that was a disaster of a 3rd down play.
Agreed, so costly. They wanted to take the shot there, knowing they can go for it on 4th down. But they never expected the mishandling with the ball. It looks like Hankerson's elbow knocks it out of Jabari Johnson. Then it's kickball out there. Nobody can get it, lose so many yards, now you got to punt.
It's actually the tight end Jackson Bowers who got on top of it to save possession for Oregon State. As you said, now they have to punt. Windsor, amongst a sea of bodies, gets that one off. Takes a roll inside the 25. Inside the 20 is where it settles. That ball will not want to stop. It's a good Beaver bounce and roll. Still trying to get these offenses to get the pedal to the metal in Corvallis.
Being a champion means knowing when to work and when to reward myself.
Strawberry mango.
This is amazing. And with my Active Cash credit card from Wells Fargo, I earn a limited 2% cash rewards on purchases.
Really? You call this a workout?
I'm just taking a little break. Then I'll get back after it.
I'm messing with you. Actually, that looks really good.
Make it 2. With the Active Cash credit card from Wells Fargo, I earn a limited 2% cash rewards on purchases. Terms apply.
Influences are on. It's the play of the game presented by Jersey Mike Subs. They did not get to trick-or-treating in Corvallis yesterday. I didn't have a costume. Did not pack one.
I'm still looking for the play of the game. We got to see some more offense. We got to see how this Washington State offense wakes up here and plays more consistently to get some plays of the game.
Had some great plays of the game on CBS earlier on today at Army. Last-second field goal winner over Air Force, the first game of our triple header. Then Indiana absolutely took it to Maryland in game 2. From the 18, Eckhouse. This guy can create a big play or two. Sets his feet, runs out of space, and caught by Takari Hickle. Chased him down from the backside.
Eckhouse rolls out here and is just covered up. Who's open? Blanket covered. He has all the time in the world. If somebody can just freestyle and work for Eckhouse, not able to, and they're able to chase him down the end. Look how this wide receiver breaks out. Imagine if he just breaks that back up. All that space there, but great coverage by Skylar Thomas there to blanket the receivers, leads to a sack.
It's been a number of times in this game, Logan, where you've highlighted how well Oregon State's defense has looked against an effective offense. Eckhouse, pitter-patters, scrambles again and pushed to the sideline. And a 3rd down and long coming up. Thomas Collins all over that one.
And Chris, to your point, they're allowing 33 points per game, Oregon State defensively. That's 119th in the country. Okay, they're allowing 260 passing yards a game. That's 119th in the country. This is a bottom 15 defense, and they are playing lights out in the secondary and the defensive front. Give credit to Coach Tuliaki for what he's done so far to this Washington State offense.
And they forced 2 turnovers. Can they force another with a 3rd down and long for Washington State? Show blitz back off. Screen set up. Floated there and caught. Voorhees jumps and leaps, but still shy of the sticks.
Beautiful defensive sequence by Oregon State there. The great coverage, the great pressure. They drop in this one, only rush 4. That's been costly, but Washington State goes conservative, calls a screen. That's not going to work against its own coverage.
So a lost that game in chess, right, Logan? Where Tuiaki, that time, instead of blitzing, he called coverage, and in a way, it tricked Washington State. They had a play call for a blitz.
They anticipated the blitz there, and Tuiaki, like you said, put out his trump card.
Walker, fair catch. Haven't had many returns on punts all game long. 4 drives in this second half, and 4 3-and-outs.
Timeout on the field.
Use a theme of college football with the Grim Reapers out. Just this many coaching changes, high-profile ones during the season, from Mike Gundy to Billy Napier, Brian Kelly, of course, James Franklin. I gotta mention him when you come with the high-profile ones. But Trent Bray, you can see the 0-7 right there after the Wake Forest loss, 39-14. Oregon State decided to go into a different direction. Rob Akey is the interim head coach. He was the coach at Idaho back in the 07 to 2012, but Oregon State have some decisions to make, of course, with the Pac-12 becoming a conference in earnest with 8 teams next season. Johnson on first down, the rollout, and he finds Trent Walker, and the crowd's been waiting for a completion to Walker for a while, and they let out a yell with that first down reception.
And this is the guy to find, the most productive receiver of the last 2 years. He runs NFL routes to me. I think he can play on Sundays with his route running ability.
To the air again. Johnson, deep ball. Receiver was out of bounds. Malachi Durant was pushed to the sideline. Goes with Oregon State and what they have coming up to offer here. This is a program that is willing to spend. In fact, the athletic director, Scott Barnes, has said that we will pay at the top end for coaches in the Pac-12 conference. And you have, the elite teams, Boise State, San Diego State, amongst others, joining this league next year. Want to make sure they have the infrastructure in place for success early. Here's Johnson handing. Hatcher. That's just 1 yard, and it's 3rd down and long once again for Oregon State. Been stuck in neutral early since the opening quarter.
To your point, Chris, both of these teams are vying to be in the top of the pack next year. That's why they're going to play each other twice. That's like a divisional matchup in the NFL. You don't usually play a team twice in college in the regular season. They will. But this third and long here, 3rd and 9, is not Jabari Johnson's best situations. They got to find creative ways for him to get completions that equal first downs.
4-man rush. Johnson tucks and runs, tries to juke, but is stuck. Now 6 yards shy of the first. Anthony Pilano gets credit for the Washington State tackle.
This is 4-down territory here. If I'm Coach Akey, I'm leaving the offense out in the field. Pilano, who struggled with tackling this year, makes a beautiful open field tackle. Akey decides to run the punt team out here and get some boo birds from the crowd. I guess he's playing a field position game because his defense is playing so well. I would have left my offense on the field on this one.
You brought it up, Logan. This feels like a divisional game, and you played in the NFL for such a long time. When teams know each other, familiar with personnel, you sometimes get games like this. It really seems like Windsor, as he punts here, fair caught at the 10. He's not as far back as a lot of punters, which makes a lot of the punts that he has in traffic and in danger of being blocked. Let's take a look at the Modelo game changer. And for that, we go with the interceptions defensively. Jaheim Patterson.
Jaheim Patterson has been Johnny on the spot today, intercepting the ball in double coverage. Zevi has not found number 6. Not too many receivers that catches today, but Jaheim Patterson has 2 of them, and he plays defense.
I say there's only 2 receivers in this game, one on each side, that have more than 2 catches.
And who said DBs can't catch? Jaheim Patterson's filling up the stat sheet.
I at least know to not say that around you. From the 10-yard line. Backhouse off right tackle to the 16. That last Oregon State drive at least had a first down, which was the first drive in this half that has yielded a first down.
Yeah, if I'm Oregon State, just on the offensive side, I would consider the quarterback right now. I know they said that they only want to play 1 today, but if you have Malik Murphy, who was a guy that you paid money to come here and he can throw the ball, they're going to have to use the passing attack. Zebby Eckhouse, on the other hand, is a dual threat quarterback who can do both. He's got to take care of the ball. He's got to play well and have a spark here to kind of pull away in this game.
He gives to Maxwell Woods. Jukes. And push towards the sideline. Hear all that trash talking going on right at the sideline. Great job by our crew all game long here in Corvallis. This one's been heated from the very beginning.
Yeah, you're going to see the end of this one. Woods kind of does that spin move. Be careful where you press B, because someone's going to come knock your head off. And it's the coaches talking the trash. Oregon State coaches, hey man, they're coaching their butts off right now. They know it's a tough situation. They're going to draw some up here and start it short.
They're bringing the fire. We saw Kobe Singleton, one of the top defensive backs, before a 3rd and 3. It is Eckhouse who gets it away, but the tackle's made shy of the first down sticks. Guess who? Jaheim Patterson. Another impact play for the Beaver defense.
Who else? Drake says, what did I miss? Jaheim Patterson can't miss today. Whether interceptions, look how much green grass there is. He comes up and saws that thigh board, right? You put your helmet right on that thigh pad. Big trees fall hard. Jaheim Patterson with a big 3rd down stop.
Thank me later. He's off the field. Ryan Harris. And backpedaling goes Walker. Bobbles. Recovers. Boy. The Oregon State life flashed before their eyes with the ball on the ground, but it took a basketball bounce right back to Walker.
Trent Walker back, but he's a receiver, not a DB. Eyes off the ball, fortunate to pick that up, and he gets stuck at the end of that one.
Feels like one of those games, Logan, where a mistake, simple like that, could absolutely swing things. You're almost waiting for the big play, whether positive on one, negative on the other side, to decide this game.
Low-scoring games, physical games like this, it's the little things. These guys are signaling their butts off. Look at that.
That was all the effort that you want in college football.
Okay.
Malik Murphy, you called for him, Logan. He's in a quarterback to start this drive for Oregon State. And zips Trent Walker. So immediately you go to Murphy, who started every other game this season for Oregon State. Comes in relief here in the 3rd quarter and completes his first pass. Those are his numbers.
You see his numbers. Okay, 1,700 yards, 9 TDs, but the 8 interceptions have been costing. This has really been Oregon State's problem, right? The quarterback play. Well, I believe if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. Who's the guy that's going to lead your team? They've been back and forth. Jabari Johnson with his first start, but now Malik Murphy back in the game, the better passer of the 2.
A highly touted transfer from Duke, had a great season for the Blue Devils last season. He's pressured, and he's driven down. Malachi to Ase. No, you don't say. 3rd down coming up.
And when Malik Murphy's in the game, they dial up the pressure, and he's not the mobile of the 2 quarterbacks. Look at Tiase, straight off the edge, unblocked. Don't know what offensive line protection scheme that is, but you got to block the edge rusher. And this is what Malik Murphy doesn't do. He's not too fleet of foot. Jabari Johnson would have been better in that situation. But 3rd and long here. Can Malik Murphy drive the ball downfield?
Some late substitutions for Washington State, and they call it timeout.
Timeout, Washington State. Their first of the half. Timeout on the field.
First time
Rogers might have cracked his first smile of the day. We're 1 away from hitting the over.
Marathon is rewarding fans with savings of up to $1 per gallon. All by earning rewards on every gallon and on select in-store items. Making every pit stop and snack break worthy of a celebration.
Score.
The more you fuel up, the more you score with Marathon Rewards. Marathon, the official fuel of the Big Ten.
Want a last-minute getaway calls? Answer it. Book last-minute deals on thousands of stays with Vrbo.
This is Freshpet. Here, there are no fillers, no spray-on flavors, no compromises. just vet-developed recipes packed with fresh meat and healthy veggies. Because real fresh food belongs in everybody's bowl.
Tomorrow, 2 Eastern, over on CBS Sports Network, there's more football on the pitch. Got your double dose on the USL quarterfinals. First up, Charleston Battery. They take on Rhode Island. Then Sacramento Republic and Orange County square off at 9. All right, we noticed the quarterback switch. Malik Murphy in, Jabari Johnson out, and Brandon has a report on the sideline.
Yeah, Chris, the team told me that Jabari Johnson went in to get evaluated, not exactly for what, but I'll work to find out what exactly is going on with Jabari. But as you mentioned there, Malik Murphy in now for Jabari Johnson, who's in the locker room.
All right, Brandon, we did not see a big hit of any sort on the last drive. That would be obvious for Johnson to leave.
But it comes in at a time at 3rd and long where Malik Murphy does have a big arm. He can drive the ball downfield here. I doubt Washington State's going to allow that to happen easily, but he's capable.
On 3rd, looking down the field, steps up, stumbles, and falls inside the 15. So he's dumped in the backfield on 2 plays on this drive. Bryson Lamb gets the sack there.
This Washington State front is licking their chops. Watch Bryson Lamb just kind of win on the twist game there. Able to wrap around. Malik Murphy not able to get out of it. They only rush 4, and they're able to get that much pressure. That's concerning for the Oregon State offensive line.
You know what else is concerning? Oregon State with just 5 total yards in this 3rd quarter. They're 1 for 10 on 3rd downs. Windsor punts. Freeman returns. Freeman has a tunnel and gets into plus territory. So great starting field position for Washington State. They have a chance to go up 2 possessions.
Well, Chris, 2 things can be true. The Oregon State offense has not been consistent this year at all, and the Washington State defense has gotten better week by week. They really were tested, right, on the road loss to Ole Miss and Virginia, having those teams have, leading them to scares. And look, they've lost 4 games this year to North Texas, Washington, Ole Miss, and Virginia. Okay, those teams have a combined record of 27-5. So whoever did their schedule did them no favors, because they had a tough schedule here, and they've been through some tough opponents.
Well, it's a tough task, as it's basically an independent schedule this year, facing teams from 10 different conferences this season. Voorhees on first, gets a couple.
But this is a drive. When you feel like you're the better team, the coach will say, all right, like I tell my kids when they were babies, stop playing with your food. Okay, you got to just go eat now, right? You have beautiful field position here at midfield, above midfield. Your defense has played lights out. And now Zebi in the offense got to punch it in.
I'm not a parent. At what age you have to tell you can stop telling your kids that?
Unfortunately, at 10 and 7, sometimes I still say that, especially my 7-year-old son Otto.
Good to know. 3 wide receivers in this formation. Voorhees again. So Washington State goes on the ground for the first 2 plays of this drive and gets about 3 yards in total. I'll call it 4, so 3rd down and 6.
I've taken my hats off to defensive play card Tuyaki too many times. I have no hats left. As much as I say don't play with your food, he has been standing up time and time again. He's held this Washington State offense to 2 for 9 on 3rd downs. So there's been a prideful group on this side. He's coaching his butt off.
He seems to dial up the right type of pressure at the right time. What does he do on 3rd and 6? Eckhouse rollout. Eyes down the field, flicks, but incomplete behind Meredith. Boy, Meredith was open, and that would have been enough for the first down.
Washington State has not been consistent. Out of sync, out of sorts. Zebi rolls out. Meredith's open early, but then he works back to the inside, and Zebi throws it to the outside. Him and his best friend, his wide receiver, just not on the same page on that one when he's wide open.
So, Logan, they were gifted excellent field position, and once again, could not yield a first down.
And if I'm Jimmy Rogers, I would have considered going for that.
That was dropped by Harris. Recovers enough. Another fair catch as these teams trading punts one after another in the third quarter.
It has not been pretty offensively. Coach Agee on the field, giving out daps and high fives.
4 straight punts for Washington State, 3 straight punts for Oregon State. So the remaining schedule, and one of the things that, Logan, you highlighted at the top of the show was Washington State in their quest to be bowl eligible.
Yeah, and this is their stretch, right? If they're able to pick up this win, they'll obviously play Oregon State again in a lighter schedule. So they go from a rough start to bowl eligible pretty quickly here.
Looking to be bowl eligible for the 9th time in 10 seasons. Murphy still in at quarterback. Hankerson pinballs off a couple of bodies and gets all the way to the 21. And what will likely be the final play of the third.
Hankerson has been the lone bright spot on this offense. He's got to get the ball. If I'm Oregon State, the more that number 0 touches it here in the fourth quarter is away, you could pull off an upset.
That third quarter was a punter's dream. 7 drives, 7 punts. That's why you're watching college football right here on CBS.
You're home for the holidays. You've dreamt.
Ray Johnson leaving the game for Oregon State. And Brandon, what's the latest?
Listen. Yeah, Chris, I just got informed by the team that Jabari Johnson is out for the remainder of the game with a foot injury when it comes to him.
All right, so that's certainly noteworthy. Starting quarterback, his first start since high school. And he gets injured in the third quarter foot. He's out. Malik Murphy, who started the entire season up until this point for Oregon State. He's in on the 2nd and 4. Started the fourth quarter as a handoff to Cornell Hatcher. And he gains 1, setting up 3rd down. So Murphy is the passing threat at quarterback. And Oregon State down here in the fourth quarter.
And I think it's such an opportunity for Malik Murphy to earn the trust and respect of his teammates. He comes in as a transfer, obviously did not have a great start to the year, gets benched. Now he comes back in the game where he was benched. And now he gets to pull something out here for his team. I think for a locker room, that would mean a lot. He's able to do this. They're going to have some pressure here.
And the linesman, he dropped his penalty flag initially when he tried to throw it. Picked it up off the ground and then threw it farther onto the field. But it looked like early movement in the backfield on Oregon State.
Offside, defense, number 99 in the neutral zone, drawing a reaction from the offense. 5-yard penalty, yardage results in a first down.
So there you go. They say the movement by Lamb was enough to threaten the movement in the backfield.
Yeah, Bryson Lamb right there, you see, kind of gets into the ball, leads to the flinch there, able to pick up a first down. And I was saying, great opportunity for Malik Murphy to come in back in this game and do it for his teammates.
Redemption. Handoff, Hankerson. He had big plays in the second half last week against Lafayette. Only a couple weeks back in Oregon State's last game. Runs that look a lot like that to the outside.
Look at him. You don't think he cares? The jump cut, the shift, 1 missed tackle, 2 missed tackles, 3 missed tackles. That's why I say find ways to get the ball to number 0.
He's got that dog mentality. Also has a couple of dogs that he's proud of.
I said 25 is the number they need to get a win. Anthony Hankerson, he's at 16 right now.
Well, they faked the reverse and said Hankerson swallowed up. Jack Janikowski came knifing through for the Cougars. So there's Kimbo. We talked about Hankerson's dogs. Oh, Kimbo looked like a good old boy, happy dog right there, and we got Koto's a little bit more serious. Yeah. But of course you got the Beaver hookup right there. You gotta have it.
I know. Beautiful pit bulls there. Hankerson loves his dogs. He spoke about them in the meeting. We had to get him on TV. Benny the Beaver wants his shine.
Another sweep. Cornell Hatcher is cut down. Got 63 yards and a touchdown in that win against Lafayette, but Janikowski registers back-to-back tackles. So again, it is third down for an Oregon State team where third downs have been a nightmare.
Janikowski's out of his mind right now. Listen, this defense is a good defense, man. They are one of the tops in the country how they've been playing. Fired up, and they know with Malik Murphy in, he's much more of a statue quarterback, meaning he's not too mobile. He's going to stay on his spot. And that's why Jesse Bobbitt, the DC, is kind of firing up this D-line to go get some sacks.
Only one third down conversion all game long. Can Murphy make it two? Directing, fires Walker, but he's shy of the sticks. And then incomplete. The official comes in and rules out of bounds.
He was out of bounds and he came back in. Can't be the first to touch it. So he's out of bounds there, comes back in.
He was never back in bounds. So it's actually not a penalty because he was actually out of bounds when he touched the football.
He never reestablished a foot back in bounds. I believe he was in the air when he caught it. But I think he's got to reestablish a foot back in bounds before he catches it.
Indeed. So it's fourth down. Yeah, you got to, for Coach Akey, fourth and long, you got to bring your punt team on and continue this field position battle. And in the second half, 9 possessions, 9 punts. Oregon State specifically 9 punts on their last 10 drives if they send this one away.
Washington State's been close on these blocks.
Protect that tackle. Not many of these punts have been returned all game. There's a flag down from the near side as the ball goes to the far side. Punts and penalties, the Killer Peas on a Saturday night in Corvallis. We're still under, by the way, on Roger Smiles.
During the kick, holding receiving team number 88. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First and 10, Washington State. Timeout on the field.
Isaac Terrell called. Penalties have piled up for the Cougars all game long, but they're still holding on the road.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm always scouting for full-time fans.
And what we've learned on the 1st of November is that the Pac-12 is all about defense. Whether it's forcing turnovers, pressure on the quarterback. On the other side, Washington State doing the same. This is the only touchdown. They had to go to review to confirm it with Kirby Voorhees getting in. It's 7-3 here in the fourth quarter. Eckhouse has a couple of picks, led that drive at the end of the first half for the Washington State touchdown. Oregon State, Jabari Johnson got the start in this game, his first of the season, but he's out with a foot injury. And Anthony Hankerson on the ground with 74 yards.
It has not been pretty offensively, Chris, but I'll tell you what, it's a one-score game, and I've played in games like this. Any play can make a difference. A forced fumble, an interception, a pick six, you can be the hero of the game. It just takes one big play in some of these muddy games like this to make all the difference.
Heard there was an important baseball game today. We have the real baseball score here in Corvallis. Throw to the sideline from Eckhouse is incomplete. Oregon State wants an intentional grounding there.
Eckhouse aired it out kind of behind the receiver there.
Don't see it. Oh, there is a penalty marker. Okay, there's a flag down right around the 39-yard line. So that's why the groans came in, the contact, and perhaps a penalty as the officials discuss.
You need a catchable football for pass interference to occur.
There is no foul for defensive pass interference. The ball is uncatchable.
How many times, Logan, have you made that argument?
What do you know? So you see here, you see the grab on the receiver, clearly, but with an uncatchable ball, the foul cannot occur. If the glove does not fit.
Yeah, you make your case. I mean, DB.
He must have quit.
Good DB should. Known for being around you this year, that you can certainly make an argument. Lechner in motion, second down. Eckhouse, plenty of time. He unleashes. He has Meredith, but it's over his head. And that was the shot that Washington State was looking for. Glasper was in coverage, but was a beat behind Meredith.
Oh, this is the opportunity. Meredith, all the corner routes he's been running, they snap one back to the post, and it was wide open. And Zevi Eckhouse just misses by 1 foot. They say it's a game of inches. Look how close that was from the biggest play of the day. Joshua Meredith knows it.
And certainly so does Eckhouse.
Don't be surprised they go back to that play later in the game. Here comes the pressure.
Just 2 for 10 on third downs. They pick this one up. Eckhouse again. Freeman backside, but incomplete. They turned him around. Vindrawale there in coverage. He celebrates. It's been a game of defensive celebrations.
Oregon State brings the pressure. Vindrawale is fighting. Gets there right on time. Bang, bang play. Freeman has it, hits his hands. That's 2 balls that were maybe an inch too far, or the receiver wasn't able to come down with it. But that leads to a punt.
The punt trade continues. Oregon State gets after that one. Harris tumbles. No flag. And a fair catch right around the 35. Really does feel like one of those boxing matches where they're waiting to the later rounds to throw the haymaker. Which athletes trick-or-treat events. And yes, we can also get into the Halloween spirit, the Ryan family.
There's some drama here. We went last minute. Luigi had a belly. My son was upset with that. My daughter didn't want to be Peach. We got Corey's family there, and another Mario. Mario's a big theme.
Yeah, Corey Fishman, our great director. Well done, guys. That was excellent. Murphy to the sideline, back shoulder, and finally a big play here in this second half. Taz Reddix. Yes, that's a catch. And a rare first down here in the second half.
Look at Taz Reddix. Beautiful catch. We got to check that foot, though. It's going to be this left foot. It's going to have to tap. He has the catch, and I think that toe taps. It is so close, but I would snap the ball quickly. I would have snapped the ball quickly so don't even get a chance.
They do pause play.
The ruling of a completed pass is under review.
Taz Reddix, some acrobatics by the sideline. Malik Murphy put it out there. All right, let's go to Gene.
I'm with you guys. What a great job by Taz Reddix of getting that left toe down. You can see it just tap before the thigh hits. And because he's falling, I was watching the football to make sure he didn't lose possession as he goes down. Looks to me like he's kept that football secure all the way down. You see a little toe tap, I think, right there. And then as he finishes the play, it doesn't look like the ball moves at all.
So, Gene, you think that toe taps near the very end of it, right? Because he had it on the ground, but he picked it up.
After review, the ruling on the field of a completed catch is upheld. First down.
Well, they see what Gene saw.
So he catches the ball, the foot's in the air now, but he taps again right before that thigh hits. I mean, that's a catch of the year type of candidate. You talk about difficulty there. And Chris, I told you, these type of games, you don't know what play could be the biggest play of the game because there's been so few. But that one play can spark that momentum you need to get that one touchdown to pull this one out.
It's the longest play of the day for Oregon State, that 25-yard catch. Second grab of the game for Reddix.
And I get it, all offensive-minded fans and everyone in the stadium at home wants 44 to 41. But what's wrong with 7-3 sometimes?
I'm calling this game with the DB, so I know what makes you happy. I know what makes Hankerson happy. Down the sideline. Inside the 5-yard line, Anthony Hankerson. And Oregon State is on the doorstep to go in front here in the fourth.
Hold on, do you hear that? Crowd noise, it's rocking in here. The catch led to this. The baddest man on the field, Anthony Hankerson, get off of me. Marshawn Lynch up in this area. Look at his stiff arm. Not one, he's got another one for you. Back up, you take that one too. Hankerson's that guy. I want 25 carries for him. Give the ball to Zero to punch it in here.
The last 2 plays for Oregon State, the longest 2 plays of the game. First and goal. Hankerson hunts and finds it. Touchdown.
The crowd has been waiting all night for the plays to come out. I got to see the spot on this, see if he crosses the line for sure. But the place had just erupted over the last 3 plays. We all know they're giving the ball to Hankerson. This ain't a Marshawn Lynch situation. And he's backing up. And you see, he's kind of going back first, but this ball has to cross the line. Hard to tell from that angle. Ruling on the field was touchdown, though. We got to remember that.
Very similar to the touchdown we saw for Washington State with Voorhees, that they took an extra look. I just don't see the ball.
We're going to need undisputable evidence to overturn this. It's hard to see on our angles right now.
That one's not down the line, so it's tough to see where the ball is relative to the goal line. This one, man, where's the ball? Do you have a clear look to say he didn't get in? Even piecing these looks together.
With that ball being his right arm.
After review, the runner was short of the line to gain, short of the goal line, inside the 1-yard line, 2nd down.
They saw enough.
With his back not kind of falling over the line, you know, he never fell over the line of scrimmage. I think that's the right call. We didn't have tons of great views, but we didn't see anything to say that he got it over either. I wouldn't get too tricky here.
Give it to him again.
I got a Super Bowl ring because Seattle decided to get too tricky, right? So now with foresight, right, I would sit here and say, give this ball to number 0 time and time again. Allow him to run in the end zone.
He has 6 rushing touchdowns on the season. Hankerson has 7 rushing touchdowns on the season. And Oregon State takes the lead in the 4th quarter. Rob Akey, his positive energy just bleeding through not just his team, but the crowd watching.
I said it, the ugly game is advantage Oregon State. And this guy, Anthony Hankerson's special, man. He's a leader. He's a great kid. We sat down with him. He's positive, and they love playing for Coach Rob Akey right now. And it's showing it so far in this game.
An extra point by Ojeda. So coming off of a game in which he had a career-high 204 yards, there is a flag down. Hankerson back over the century mark.
Offside in the neutral zone. Defense number 2. Penalty is declined. The try is good. Timeout on the field.
20 carries, left 13, and 1 touchdown.
It all started with big plays. Taz Reddick, beautiful hands, catch of the year candidate. And it was all Anthony Hankerson after that. Get off of me, I need this. And his way to punch it in the end zone. Oregon State is playing for a lot. They want to be on top of the pack. They don't care about the record.
Miller going in to give the Trojans their first lead of the night in Lincoln. They are up 4 in the 4th, and Dylan Raiola out of the game for the Huskers with an apparent ankle injury. Chris, back to you.
Noteworthy injury there. USC taking the lead in the 4th quarter. 4th quarter lead change also here in Corvallis. Oregon State's offense looked dead. About 106 total yards before a couple of big plays combining for 62 and move for their touchdown drive. And Ojeda, make that indeed it was Ojeda, the kickoff goes out of bounds. So that's a rough one. After scoring the touchdown, Washington State will have a chance to respond and do it from the 35.
Kickoff out of bounds. Kicking team number 28. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Time permitting, Adam, Aaron, Rick, BJ will share their insights on this one. Bring you today's highlights on the U.S. Army postgame show.
Well, this is going to come down to an exciting finish here. Oregon State fans are in it. They're rocking. The defense has been on fire. But I wouldn't count out this quarterback, Zevi Eckhouse. He's the type of guy. I said like a Baker Mayfield. He's going to have some bad in him. But he's that type of guy that kind of likes to be in this situation. Doubt it.
To the air he goes. Crossing pattern. Caught in stride. And Freeman tiptoes his way past the sticks. Gain of 11.
Found the electric slot receiver, Tony Freeman. Just a crossing route. Beautiful play, Sergeant. Look at the jukes in open field.
Against pressure. Eckhouse. Come back. Meredith. So he has that rhythm again. It was the up-tempo offense late in the first half that led to Washington State's only touchdown in this game.
Joshua Meredith, they've been out of sync today, but they're on sync on that one. And this has been the most important drive of the day. It doesn't matter how you played so far. No matter how you play on this one.
Maxwell Woods off left side. He has the first down, but there is a flag down by the area of the line of scrimmage.
Looks like it's going to be holding against Washington State. Jimmy Rogers is not going to be happy.
If so, it'd be penalty number 10.
Holding. Offense number 0. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Second down.
What he told Brandon going into halftime, these penalties not winning football.
No, they're costly, especially in these crucial situations. You've kind of been playing around all day. Tony Freeman there. You see the right hand. The DB falls down, but sometimes when that happens, it looks like the receiver pulled him down. Unfortunate situation. Get caught holding on that one.
Eckhouse took over the starting role before the Apple Cup against Washington. His moxie, his production has led the way ever since. 2nd and 14. In the pocket, steps up. He'll run. He has the first down, and that is Zevi Eckhouse to a T. Does it himself.
There are just some guys you don't want to talk trash to. There's some guys you don't want them to have a slow day. Some guys kind of drop their head. That's not Zevi Eckhouse.
After a 19-yard run, he's back for more. And he's hog-tied down by Aiden Sullivan before he could really get going. But still a positive gain on first down with the clock approaching 8 to go.
You see Oregon State kind of huffing and puffing on defense there. Aiden Sullivan. Coach Akey's biting his nails a little bit. They got to keep holding on. They got to keep pressuring Eckhouse. Don't just drop in zone coverage now.
They empty it out, just rush 3. Eckhouse goes down. So against just a 3-man rush, they get to the quarterback. And it's 3rd down coming up.
Eckhouse lost patience on this one. You said it, just a 3-man rush. He has time. The ball's not out. He's just trying to run. And they're sitting there right for him. Now, the question all day, Chris, has been pressure against Eckhouse has been successful. Dropping in zone doesn't work. But when you pressure, you're going to allow your DBs to have some one-on-ones. Can the DBs hold up?
Crowd as loud as it's been all game. Here is a 3rd down play. Eckhouse navigates, stumbles ahead, he's shorts. Tackled at the 35, he needs the 28. So a decision now on the side of Washington State.
This is a big decision here by Washington State. Obviously a field goal ties it. They're trying to play for the win. I think Eckhouse just got tired on this drive. He could have stayed in the pocket. He has time, but his clock is just sped up. They're going to leave the offense out here. This is absolutely the play of the game right now. 4th and 7. The ball's going to be in Zevi Eckhouse's hands.
From here, it'll be about a 52-yard field goal. They're not trying
I want you to watch the safety. If he's low, there's going to be some man-to-man. Look like he's going to stay high.
Biggest play, 4th down. Eckhouse, lasers, no good, no sir! Jaheim Patterson sticks him, and the Oregon State transfer is short.
Jaheim Patterson, the defensive player of the game today. 2 INTs, his second 4th down stop against no other than Jeremiah Noga, the former Beaver. A revenge best served cold, but look at Patterson, ready to be there. He has stepped up time and time again. What a finish to this one.
Injured player will step aside.
On a two-timing Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
You guys mind flipping to the
4th down for a much maligned defense all season, Oregon State. Some of the other storylines throughout the day, you had Texas beating Vanderbilt. How about SMU and what they did to Miami in overtime? And then on CBS earlier on today, it was Army at the end, a last-second field goal to knock off Air Force, which means you're set up for the December 13th on CBS. The Army-Navy game will determine the winner of the Commander-in-Chief's Trophy.
That's a great game, isn't it? CBS does a great job, and now with the stakes of that game, it's going to be even bigger.
Always the biggest of the year. Navy suffered their first loss of the season, by the way, today to North Texas. 1st down, 10 to go. Handoff Hankerson. And gets a couple. Jack Janikowski makes the tackle.
Oregon State's going to lean on Hankerson to close this game out, pick up some 1st downs on the ground. The problem is Washington State knows that. And they're going to do everything they can to take the ball out of number 0's hands. That's what I would do if I was a defensive player or a defensive coordinator.
For just joining us, Oregon State interim coach Rob Akey, after they got rid of Trent Bray after an 0-7 start to the season, a loss to Wake Forest there. This is a team that's lost 8 straight games to FBS teams. Their only win was their last game against an FCS team, Lafayette. Hankerson on 2nd down, not much. Whistles after the play, nothing doing down there, so 3rd down coming up. They lost 13 of their last 14, Oregon State, to FBS teams. Their only win in that stretch was against Washington State last season.
It's 3rd and 8 here, crucial, obviously, right, for Oregon State to pick up a 1st down and keep burning clock. Malik Murphy is a passer. You transferred in from Texas to Duke. Now you're here. They identified you, they wanted you. Now I put the ball in number 6's hands and find a way for him to make a play.
The lanky 6'5" signal caller from Inglewood, California, hands it off on 3rd down. And almost Hankerson was able to break free, but a great tackle. Matthew Durant for a team that has been struggling in that category this year. And they potentially can get off the field.
They decide to play it safe and hand it off here. And it's a one-on-one tackle. And he trips him up by his shoelace. Look at Hankerson. Just the knee there. Watch when he gets up. He knows it. Man, that close for Pater. They got to punt the ball back to Washington State. This game is far from over, ladies and gentlemen. Zevi Eckhouse gets to have his fingerprints on the end of this game.
Windsor, that right leg has been busy. This is Freeman.
He's got space.
He has the angle. He has plenty of room. Freeman past midfield into Beaver territory at the 44. We've been waiting for the big Washington State play. He comes on special teams.
Tony Freeman's electric. He makes the first man miss. And this guy got some speed to eat up some stripes. Down the end there, a massive return when they needed a play. Check the block there. That's clean. And Skylar Thomas, the captain, is on the punt return team. On the punt team to save a punt return TD there.
So a 50-yard punt met with a 47-yard return on what was the 10th punt of the game for Windsor in Oregon State. So Zevi Eckhouse once again gets an opportunity. You can see those passing yards low in the second half. Tight end Lechner in motion. They give to Woods, crease, Woods, and he's hot tied down. Skylar Thomas a full-out dive, so he's been saving touchdown after touchdown for Oregon State.
Another touchdown-saving tackle, but I love the run game here by Washington State. You don't have to rush it. There's plenty of time. You have timeouts here. Right over 3 minutes left with 2 timeouts. Game is far from over. You can still run the ball. Remember, I love Zevi Eckhouse in the quarterback run game as well. They got last drive, they got too impatient trying to throw the ball downfield.
Time not much of a factor at all. Field position where they are with the score down 3. Give Voorhees. Voorhees marches inside the red zone. He has the first down to the 18. Gord Shaw on the stop, approaching the 3 minutes to go mark.
And when you're running it like this, look at the lanes there. The lines all doing their job. Voorhees always going to fall forward. He's that type of runner. Washington State's been experienced in these one-score games. You see they dropped 2 against the number 4 team and the number 18 team in the country, but they've been playing in a lot of them this year.
Still lamenting that Virginia game got away from them. They lost it on safety. Their mishap on special teams pinned them inside the 5. First and 10. Woods again meets the wall. So Oregon State holds up defensively there, led by Thomas Collins. Now Washington State does not need to get another play off before the 2-minute timeout.
If I'm Washington State, I'm letting the clock run. There's no rush here. Time is in your favor. You have the ball. You can go for, obviously, get a touchdown and take the lead, or you can obviously tie the game. Oregon State's got to be the one concerned about using timeouts. Hard count. Not going to snap it.
Smart. See if you have the opportunity to get a free 5. They did not bite. And we have 2 minutes left. Defensive game, but will lead to a fun finish in Corvallis. Oregon State 18. You start to look at the clock and the timeouts each team has. Washington State 2, but really Oregon State's the one who you consider what you want to do with the clock here with their 3 timeouts.
Yeah, with Oregon State winning, I don't think I use the timeouts, right? Because they got to still score. They got to still show me that they can tie the game or go up and win the game. Washington State's in no rush on offense. They have great field position here, but they're obviously looking for the win. They're not looking just to tie and kick the field goal. So interesting to see how these coaches, especially Oregon State, decides to use these timeouts in this situation. We'll know after the first play whether they want to use them or not.
Fun finish to our Saturday of football here on CBS. 3 games and the 3rd and final one right down to the wire. With a 3-minute motion, they give Woods. Makes a couple miss within the pile and Houdini's his way to the 12-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down, but just a couple to go.
They go with the run play here, and it's just a missed tackle. 2 missed tackles leads to that 6-yard run here. Sets up the biggest 3rd down of the game. The biggest play of the game right now. You see Oregon State didn't use their timeout. If I'm Washington State, I'm keeping the ball in my quarterback's hands. I like him as a runner. Something on the perimeter here. Give the run pass option.
3rd down and 4. Empty for Eckhouse. Rolls near side. Eckhouse is tripped up in the backfield. What an incredible job to track that one down. Nico Taylor. And now it is 4th down. Clock stop 1:08.
They kept the ball in the quarterback's hand. Run pass option. And Nico Taylor with the effort dives and gets him by his shoelace. He knew who was keeping the ball. And Zevi Eckhouse goes out of bounds there, stops the clock.
So Jack Stevens, only miss from 54. This from 33 to tie it. That one's no good! It stays wide! Unreal! Wow! Jack Stevens started the season 8 for 8. His only miss, we mentioned, was from 50 plus. Never turned in.
Misses the chip shot. He's been 10 for 11 on the year. Bad time to miss your second. And look what it means. Coach Rob Akey, break your heart.
We've been waiting so long to say this.
Did they get a celebration penalty here, though?
The Pac-12 after dark strikes again. Well, yeah, there is a flag down. We'll check that post-play.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 2 and number 1 took their helmets off before they left the field. Half the distance to the goal. It's the first one of the game for each 1 and 2. First and 10, Oregon State.
So you do the math here, and the penalties are really not too relevant from the standpoint of, okay, if they get the first down, this ball game's over. You can't kneel it out. 2 timeouts left would stop it on first and second down. Then 40 seconds would run off on third down. There'd still be a little bit of time left. Where the penalty comes into play is if Oregon State has to punt, Washington State does not have to go very far to be back in Stevens' range.
Oh yeah, with the 2 timeouts, Washington State has a chance to get the ball back here. Obviously, Oregon State needs to pick up a first down. They're going to decide how much time they need to kill here. Hand the ball to number 0. Good things can happen.
First down ends it. Hankerson on first. Blown up, but that leg strength, the leg drive, a gain of 1. What it could have been a loss. There's the first of 2 timeouts for Washington State.
Timeout, Washington State, their second of the half. 30 seconds.
Lonely feeling.
It's not over, though. There's a chance, Jack Stevens. Keep your head in it.
And now it's time for the play of the game, presented by Jersey Mike's Subs. Come down to the end like this.
Anthony Hankerson went beast mode on this one. A couple stiff arms. It kind of ignited the stadium, which led to his goal line run there to give them a lead. I told you this is the guy they'll need to get the ball a lot in order to pull this off. He's delivered so far.
Back-to-back games crossing the century mark. See, up to 122. Meter still running. And of course, Logan, you have to imagine he's getting the ball 2 more times. Just depends on how far he gets.
And how much time they can take up. Because Washington State only has 1 more timeout.
Spreading out, which spreads the defense out a bit on 2nd and 8. Murphy hands. Hankerson inside. A first down ends it if he stays in bounds. That'll do it. Wow. Oregon State. And a Pac-12 showdown at home. Get their first win against an FBS opponent this season. Rob Akey, positive energy. And Reeser Stadium loves it.
Washington State, their last of the half, 30 seconds.
They say 2-0, and this one gives you the Pac championship. What about Oregon State? The resolve, the positivity. And Chris, I said it, and boy do I feel good. 25 touches for number 0 will give you a win. Guess how many carries he's got? 25 exactly.
Timer, please reset the clock to 52 seconds. 52 seconds.
When we sat down with these coaches, we said Oregon State felt like they're 7-1, not 1-7. Washington State didn't feel happy to be 4-4. They're not going to be happy to be 4-5. But you've got to give credit to Rob Akey. He said it's about the kids. This situation, he's doing it for the kids to put a smile on their face. 2 points of football to win and have fun. And he's brought fun back to the program.
First of 2 kneel downs, but that tells the exact story. They've had every reason for Oregon State to splinter. From the challenge at the beginning of the year when you're playing an independent type of schedule, you're waiting for next season the Pac-12 to be in earnest with the full 8 teams. Your coach gets fired after an 0-7 start. But credit guys like Malik Murphy, Jabari Johnson, Anthony Hankerson, interim coach Rob Akey to keep this program and keep this team together. And they get the win against Washington State in the first of 2 Pac-12 showdowns.
And look at the kids, man. They're so fired up.
That's the end of the ball game.
10-7. Defense wins Pac-12 championships. Now, of course, they'll meet again on Black Friday, but for the Knights, it is a Beaver night.
And we're going to be spoiled with another Rob Akey interview. I cannot wait.
All right, let's not wait anymore.
Coach, you get one done here. This is your second one. I need one of your sayings to say what you guys did today.
How did y'all like that one? That was some fun, wasn't it? I tell you what, I'm proud of these guys, and I'm happy for them. They fought their tails off. You know, we created a little adversity and overcame it and fought through it. And you see them smiling right now in that success. And I do believe that puts us in first place in the Pac-2 conference, so let's go.
For you personally, when you see all this excitement here for the fans, for this program, the positivity that you preached to us yesterday and we saw this field, what does it mean to you?
Well, it means to me a lot because it means they're excited about our players again, and our players are excited. And, you know, for Beaver Nation to be wound up again and for our players to be wound up and experience some success, that makes me really, really proud, and I can't wait to see what we can do with the next one.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Take care. Good to see you. Go Beavs.
I almost feel bad talking after that. I feel like the last word of the broadcast should just be Rob Akey. What am I going to say to top that?
Hey, they're winning the 2 Pac conference, they said, man. They're trying to get a Pac championship. Look at the fans, the students running the field. You can't tell me it doesn't mean anything.
Oh, this was fun. For Logan Ryan, Brandon Baylor, Gene Taylor, our entire CBS crew. This is Chris Lewis saying, see ya from Corvallis. Final score, 10-7. Yeah, go on the field. Students having fun. You're watching Home Depot College football on CBS.
Me up every time he would get up. I'm very